Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. I will put the dice and the cards decks that I'm using below. That information will be there. Other than that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? Two, three. Okay, I don't know why we're... Okay, whatever. Whatever works. It's fine. Whole thing is changing. Okay. Social structure. There's a change. Something in the social structure. Social structure is changing. Something out, something in, something like that. Like something going out, something coming in. I don't feel like it's upsetting. I feel like it's an advantage. Could be a work thing, could be a friendship thing. There's something going out, something coming in. I don't feel upset about it. So sometimes in these social structures, especially with Libra, if you want to stay in contact with somebody, you'll stay in contact with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it might be why it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. Kind of like if you want to keep them in your circle, you'll find a way to do so. High Priestess and the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, this might be the energy. It's the Three of Cups reversed. Which, in this one, it feels mild. Kind of like, we're not friends. I wouldn't say you're enemies with whoever this is, but you're not friends, if that makes sense. Like, you're not out to get anybody. I don't feel like I'm worried about somebody coming for me. But it's kind of like, yeah, they're there. If they're there, if they're not there. It's almost like, you know, if you have a good friend and they marry somebody. And it's kind of like, I don't like them, but I don't dislike them. We're not friends, but we're not enemies. It's kind of like they showed up with my friend. It's fine. My friend showed up without them. Same response. Whether they're there or not, it doesn't really... It's not that big of a deal. Especially if it's in a situation where there's a lot of people there anyway. Whether they're there or not, I don't feel bad about it, but I would not... I would not respond in like they're a friend or like... Okay, so that's there, and I feel like I've just been kind of moving around it. I've just been moving around it. I don't see a problem with it, at least not at this point. Making better decisions. Be careful. There is a change here. Is it that I don't think it's that person, but that person factors into this. So that person that you're indifferent to, not a friend, but not really an enemy. I don't feel that either. You're indifferent to them. They're a factor in this situation. They're not the one leaving, though. Okay. When somebody is leaving or something is leaving, something is changing, something new is coming in. Something leaving, something coming in. I think that's how I'm supposed to do that. Something is going out, something is coming in. Something like that. There's this need to, I feel like there's this need of responsibility for you. Excuse me. I don't know if I'm saying it right. There's the need to move. There's the need to act. and to solidify things, because the situation has changed. Excuse me. I want to restabilize the situation. And the person that I'm indifferent about could become more of an important part of it. And now I'm kind of like, well, I don't really have anything against them. Do I want to be more connected with them now? Is this the time to do that? It says financial health, but to me this is like an earth card, stabilizing a situation. This is like a stability card, stabilizing something. It doesn't have to be literal, especially with a general read, but this is definitely about it's time to stabilize something and move forward and decide how this can work in the best. This is a moment where I feel like I want to keep the group together, and even though there's this person, maybe more than one person, that I've been indifferent to, again, I don't see enemy energy, I just feel like I'm indifferent. I can bring that closer, and I can create new supports, new structure here to keep this situation tied together the way I would like to keep it tied together. And there's a positive social energy here. There's no problems here. This is about trying to keep the bigger picture together. With the King of Cups, I'm trying to keep the bigger picture together, and this might be one of the avenues where I can do that. Again, there's no negative energy. There's just indifference up until this point. By doing this, there may have been some problems here that you were not aware of. And you might be helping to release some blocks. Release. I was going to say reduce, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right. I think it's release some blocks. Not reduce, but release. This fell out when I was shuffling, so it came in upside down. The Two of Swords upside down can be a great card. This is like a block being lifted, but I see like you're lifting it for other people, not realizing there was a problem there. And this keeps things going forward. This keeps things moving forward. Is that the Knight of Cups? Yep. I feel like you will easily get what you want, and that connection will tie in. It doesn't have to be literal family, but it may have a family feel to it. Family being however you decide that family, however that works for you. You decide what family means to you. You know what I mean? It may have a family atmosphere. I feel there's friends I feel that way with. You know, sometimes people feel that way with coworkers. I got the cough that never ends apparently today. You're getting what you want. Moving forward, I feel like we got to be a little bit more. We got to be careful not to let it go. I don't know. There's something. Whatever this is, especially because it fell out when I was shuffling. This is more important than I'm actually feeling like I'm giving it credit for. You're helping somebody release a block. It's like it's gone. And I feel like once I realize that's gone, my first response is like, oh, that was an issue they were having, and I helped them fix it. And then I feel like I'm just letting it go. They're saying if you really want to get the most out of this situation, research what that was. What was going on there? How did what I did fix that? How did my participation in that release that block? What was that block? Why was that block there? Why was it there, and how long was it there? What was its purpose? And now that it's gone, what's going differently here? You don't have to do that, obviously, but they're saying there's something here that you can actually get a lot more value out of. There's more information here that's kind of like, oh, so that's why that's been like that. Oh, that's what's been going on over there. It seems a little meddlesome, and I feel like that might be why you're avoiding it. I feel like this is help that's well needed. It's kind of like, I didn't realize that was a factor there. I didn't even know that was a part of the story. but I would like to help. There's something here where you can be even more beneficial to the story. Libras are very helpful, and they can be excellent with getting information to transfer around to different people. They can be excellent communicators, very diplomatic. You have a lot of value in this situation. And this is one of those times where I feel like the more value you put in, the more value that just naturally comes back to you. There's something here that is a little off base. Even though you're helping release that block, something is still a little bit off base. And you can help balance that out totally, and you'll be surprised at how that comes back to you in a positive way. Do you have to? Clearly not. But I get that there's something here, something's going out, something's coming in. While this is like, that's like a part of this story, but it's the block that's most important, if that makes sense, the block that you're releasing. It's almost like whatever's going out and coming in, it's purposeful, but it's almost a distraction. Because there's something else here that's of more value to you, that if you're not paying attention, it'll just kind of slip by you. You won't even see it because you're busy doing a lot of things. If you get more invested in, like, what was that block? How did I help release it? What is it doing now? It puts you in this Empress. Is that Empress? Yep. It puts you in the Empress energy. Don't get caught up in the gender, whatever gender you may be. But it also, there's, be careful not to go too deep into it, but you may be a very strong part of it. You can be a piece of it without being dragged deep into it. So it's kind of like they're saying, yes, more value here, more help here. You can, the more you put in, the more you get out. But they're also saying, be careful. Make sure you set up your boundaries. Make sure you're only a part of what you're comfortable being a part of. Don't let it like rule your life. Let it be a part of your life, but don't let it rule your life. Be careful of that. You do seem to be putting in a lot of effort, but it might be more seasonal. I'm seeing a person that I haven't talked to in years, and they were very seasonal. Like they did stuff to help people. Like I remember this person I'm thinking of, they headed up this candy benefit where they made some candy and chocolate things, and they did that like once. Like I think it was a fall thing, so they did something in the fall. I think they did something in the winter. They did something in the spring. Then they did something in the summer. But like it was like once a season they did stuff. That was kind of like a boundary. Like they would do one thing per season, but they didn't make it like they weren't going to do one thing a month, or even worse, one thing a week. They're like, I have my own life to live. I will help. I'll help you once a season. I'll be a part of it, especially since they ended up leading it, whatever they were being a part of. So they would lead one thing that would help the benefit once a month. I'll take the lead on this once a month. I'll do this once a season. I knew I screwed that up. You know what I mean? Whatever's right for you. Create the boundary that is right for you. Because I'm saying once a season, I think maybe that's why I tripped on that. It doesn't have to be once a season. It could be once a month. It could be once, whatever. It could be every now and then. But make sure you set boundaries that help you thrive and be a part of the situation in a way that it's good and it does come back to you in a positive way, yes. But make sure it's comfortable for you and it balances out well. Libras are all about balance. Going into it, seeing at this point, realizing, set that balance up in the very beginning. This situation will allow you in as far as you want to go, and it can be very alluring, but it could be also one of those things like I'm 10 miles into the woods, I'm like, oh my goodness, how did I get 10 miles into the woods, and now how do I get out of here? It doesn't have to be like that. If you keep that in your mind even before you get into this, like, oh, they're going to let me go as far as I want, let me make sure I set those boundaries right in the beginning so I don't get sucked too deeply into it, and I can get out of this what I want to get out of this. You are easily going to be helpful. I'm not really worried about that in any sense. I think I showed this. Judgment is in your favor. I think I showed that. Judgment is in your favor on this one. This seems to be going good for you and other people. They're just trying to give you this little insight, kind of like, look over here. Discover a little bit more right there. That might be more to your liking. That may be more to your benefit than you know. And then, of course, the boundary thing. I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.